Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. There are some people in this world whose presence is not simply noticed, it is felt. They walk into a room and the atmosphere shifts, not with noise, not with fanfare, but with a stillness that commands attention.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. These are the people whose auras radiate a quiet power, a spiritual depth that few can truly understand. If you are one of them, you may have noticed that others often misunderstand you, grow uncomfortable in your presence, or even become defensive without reason.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's because your light, my dear, is too brilliant for their untrained eyes. When your aura is strong, when your energy is vibrant, it will reflect the truth that many are not yet ready to face. And so, they resist. They back away.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. They try to dim what they do not understand. But let me tell you something sacred. You were never meant to shrink for their comfort. You were never asked by the universe to fold your wings so someone else could feel taller. You were built to shine. You were born to lead.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded in your energy, your divine, unshakable energy, is a reflection of generations of strength that flow through your blood. People with powerful auras often walk a lonely road, especially in the early parts of their journey. You may have always felt different.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You saw through lies, through smiles that were false, through intentions that were not pure. You could feel when someone was hurting, even if they said, "I'm fine." You carried not only your own weight, but the invisible burdens of others. And yet, even in your exhaustion, you continued to rise.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Even in your silence, you continue to speak volumes with just your presence. Now, this is where the test begins. For when your soul is awake and your spirit aligned, the world will not always cheer for you. In fact, some will try to challenge you.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. They will mistake your stillness for weakness, your kindness for naivety, and your wisdom for arrogance. But you must stand firm. You must remember that a river does not apologize for the ground it carves through stone. The wind does not ask permission to sing through the trees.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and your aura, strong and unrelenting, does not need approval to be exactly what it was created to be. Some will leave you. Let them. Some will judge you. Forgive them. Some will try to match your energy only to find themselves burned by the very fire they attempted to play with. But still, you rise.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Still, you glow. Still, you lead, not with noise, but with grace. Not with pride, but with purpose. You are not here to be liked by all. You are here to be light to those who are still searching for their...
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and so I say to you, beautiful soul, if you've been told you're too much, too intense, too different, with those words like a crown, let them remind you of the power that you carry, because in a world that often asks people to be less, you were chosen to be more.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, not out of vanity, but out of divine necessity. Your aura is not a burden, it is a blessing, and those who can see it, who can feel it, who are moved by it, they are your tribe, your people, your circle of truth. Stay radiant, stay bold, stay powerful. You are made for this.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. There is a secret discomfort that follows those whose spirits are deep. You see, when your aura is powerful, it doesn't just shine. It pierces, it uncovers, it illuminates all that was hidden in shadow. That kind of energy is not always welcomed by everyone, because not everyone is ready to be seen.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Many have become comfortable hiding behind their masks, camouflaging pain with performance, disguising emptiness with achievement. But when someone with a powerful aura walks in, that illusion begins to unravel. And that, my dear, is why some people recoil from your presence.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. It is not rejection, it is resistance. Not to you, but to what you awaken in them. When your energy is elevated, you do not need to speak for the truth to rise with you. You don't need to argue for your presence to be known.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You don't even have to make your intentions clear. Because your spirit, the very rhythm of your soul, already speaks louder than words. And those around you who live in pretense can feel that. It stirs something in them. It makes them confront themselves.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, not because you forced it, but because your vibration demands authenticity, and that level of honesty is a mirror some are not prepared to look into. people with powerful auras often carry an unusual mix of peace and intensity.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You may find yourself misunderstood, not because you are unclear, but because you are too clear. Your intentions are pure, but your boundaries are firm. You can love without attachment and walk away without resentment. That kind of balance, rooted in spirit, tempered with wisdom, is rare.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and because it is rare, it is often mistaken for something else. Arrogance, coldness, detachment. But the truth is, you have simply learned not to beg for energy that doesn't align with your purpose. Those with powerful auras feel deeply.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. They love like the ocean, fierce in its loyalty, yet calm in its depth. But they also know when to let go. And that ability to release what no longer serves them is intimidating to those who are still clinging to the familiar, even when the familiar is breaking them.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You may have walked away from situations, from people, from environments that tried to contain you. Not because you were cruel, but because you could no longer breathe in spaces that demanded you become less than who you are. That takes courage. That takes strength. That takes strength.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and that is why your aura speaks before you do. The truth is, your energy is an invitation, but not everyone will accept it. Some will try to imitate it, others will try to test it, and a few will try to destroy it.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, but remember this. The soul that knows its worth is never threatened by misunderstanding. You do not have to defend your frequency. You do not have to lower your voice for it to be heard by the right hearts.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Your power lies in your consistency, in showing up as yourself again and again, no matter who stays or who leaves. When your aura is too powerful for most people, you'll notice that silence becomes your sanctuary. Crowds may tire you, and small talk might feel hollow.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded not because you're antisocial, it's because your spirit yearns for connection, not noise. You're drawn to depth, not drama. You want conversations that heal, not just entertain. And so you begin to choose solitude not as an escape, but as a return to self, to spirit, to peace.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. That choice too unsettles others. Because in a world addicted to distraction, your peace is provocative. But let them wonder. Let them whisper. Let them label. The path of the radiant is rarely crowded. The way of the awakened is often walked alone.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and yet, there is nothing more fulfilling than living in the truth of who you are, without apology, without pretense. That is the real meaning of freedom. That is the power of presence. You do not have to shout to be heard. You do not have to chase to be valued.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You only need to be fully, fiercely, and faithfully. Those who are meant for you will recognize your light. They will not be afraid of your strength, but will honor it. They will not envy your clarity, but will celebrate it.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. They will not try to possess your energy, but will stand beside it, with mutual reverence and respect. These are the ones your spirit has been preparing for. These are the ones who will hold space for your power, not compete with it. Until then, keep walking in your truth. Keep nourishing your soul. Where?
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Keep protecting your peace like it is the sacred flame that it is. Because it is. You were not born to blend in with the noise. You were created to be a melody, a song that only the brave will dare to sing along with. So sing, radiate.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Walk boldly into every room, knowing you are carrying generations of healing, wisdom, and grace within you.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Your aura, too powerful for most, is exactly what this world needs. Because when one soul chooses to rise, it gives silent permission for others to do the same.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. There comes a time in a person's life when they realize they are no longer just existing, they are becoming. And in that sacred unfolding, something shifts. The way they speak, the way they move, the way they see, everything begins to align with a higher calling.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. This is what happens when your aura expands beyond the bounds of common understanding. You're no longer playing small to keep others comfortable. You're no longer dimming your brilliance to protect fragile egos.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You are now standing in the full expression of your soul. And baby, that kind of light isn't easy for everyone to witness. The truth is, some people don't hate you. They hate how they feel about themselves when they're around you.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, you remind them of what they buried, of what they gave up, of the courage they never dared to claim. You reflect back to them the truth that they are still afraid to live. And so they react, not with love, not with celebration, but with silence, distance, or resistance.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded that resistance is not your enemy, nor is it your burden to fix. It's a sign that your energy has depth, that your spirit is layered, that your soul carries echoes of freedom, of fire, of fierce divine wisdom. And that kind of force is not something the world sees every day.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded if you've noticed people become uncomfortable around you without reason, or feel the need to explain themselves even when you didn't ask. That's not coincidence. That's your aura doing the work. You see, a powerful aura acts like a mirror. It shows people the truth they didn't ask to see.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, your silence can be louder than their noise. Your presence can outshine their performance. You don't have to lift a finger or say a word for people to feel the impact of your being. That's spiritual gravity. That's soul authority. That's the divine walking wrapped in human skin.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, but let's be honest, walking with that kind of light isn't always easy. There's loneliness. There are seasons where you wonder, why can't they just see my heart? You try to soften your voice, shrink your steps, dim your glow, just to be understood.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, but every time you shrink, something inside you breaks a little, because you weren't made to be half of anything. You weren't made to dilute your essence just to fit in. You were made to rise, to lead, to shine, and to challenge the darkness in others, not out of pride, but out of purpose.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded when your aura is powerful. You'll attract both admiration and attack. Some will be drawn to your energy like moths to flame, wanting to taste your wisdom, your warmth, your clarity. But not all who come close have pure intentions. Some come just to take, to feed, to extract.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and when you no longer allow that, they call you selfish, distant. It changed. But the truth is, you didn't change. You just stopped bleeding for those who never planned to heal. A powerful aura is not something you wear, it's something you become.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded it as the result of battles survived, storms weathered, truths embraced. It is built on a foundation of forgiveness, resilience, and raw, radiant truth. It's not about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the realest.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, it's not about being liked by many. It's about being respected by those who understand energy, not just appearances. You've likely been the peacemaker in many rooms, the healer in many circles, the listener in many storms. But who listens to you? Who holds you when the healer needs healing?
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, who tends to your spirit when you've given all your light away. This is why boundaries are so vital for those with powerful auras. Because if you don't protect your energy, it will be drained by those who do not even realize what a privilege it is to stand in your presence.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, let no one confuse your peace for weakness. Let no one mistake your grace for submission. You are gentle, yes, but you are also thunder wrapped in silk. You are stardust formed into fire. You are the answer to someone's silent prayer, and you are not obligated to water dead gardens.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, you are not required to explain your growth to those who stayed behind. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let them wonder. You keep walking. Because you, beloved, are the kind of soul that shifts timelines. You walk into a person's life and things begin to move, to start to heal, to grow.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, that's why they remember you even after you're gone. That's why your absence is heavier than most people's presence. And that's why you must honor your energy as sacred. Because it is. In the end, the people meant to journey with you will not ask you to become less.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, they will not fear your power. They will rise to meet it. They will not envy your light. They will be inspired by it. These are the ones who deserve you, not because you need them, but because your spirit recognizes theirs. Until then, keep glowing, even if it blinds a few.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, keep speaking, even if your truth trembles. Keep rising, even if no one claps, because your aura, your fire, your divine presence, it's not here to entertain. It's here to transform. There's a deep and sacred loneliness that follows those who carry ancient wisdom in their bones.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. If your aura is too powerful for most people, you've likely felt this ache. It's not the kind of loneliness that comes from being alone in a room. It's the kind that grows in a crowd where no one sees your truth.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You smile, you speak, you nod along. But inside, you're standing on a mountaintop waiting for someone who can breathe the air at your altitude. Powerful souls often feel like they don't belong.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and that's because they don't. Not in places where shallow waters pass for oceans, not in relationships that run on conditions, not in environments that reward masks more than authenticity. You are made for deeper waters.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You were never meant to be satisfied with surface-level conversations or transactional connections. Your spirit longs for communion, for depth, for presence that touches the soul, rather than just brushes the skin. But many people aren't built to meet you there.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. They may admire you, even desire you, but they don't know how to hold you. You don't just enter a room, you bring a storm and a calm all at once. You stir something in others, something ancient, something raw, and that makes people uneasy. It's not your fault. It's your gift.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and yes, it is a gift, even if it sometimes feels like a burden. You see, when your aura is radiant and powerful, you're not just living, you're reflecting. You're reflecting. You reflect truth. You reflect potential. You reflect divinity. And not everyone is ready to see that.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. They say they want truth. But when truth shows up in your eyes, in your presence, in your unwavering energy, they tremble. They shrink. They flee. Not because you did something wrong, but because your light reveals where their shadows still hide.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, that's why. So often people pull away from you not with anger, but with silence. They don't always know why. They just know they feel exposed, vulnerable, like a mirror has been held up to their soul, and they aren't sure what to do with what they see.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded, and here you are, thinking you've done something wrong, questioning yourself, wondering if you're too much. But beloved, let me tell you the truth. You are not too much. You are just not meant for those who only know how to love in small, safe doses.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded people like you. You who feel deeply, who speak truthfully, who move with intuition and walk in grace. You challenge the world simply by existing. You don't chase. You attract. You don't demand. You embody. And that alone is revolutionary in a world that thrives on performance. Performance.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Your authenticity is a protest. Your peace is a disruption. Your energy is sacred space. And so yes, people will fall away. Let them. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some are only meant to teach you how to walk alone. Some come to show you your power by trying to take it.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. Some come to remind you that being alone does not mean being without love. It means being surrounded only by love that is true.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. When you carry powerful energy, solitude becomes your sanctuary. You begin to crave stillness, not because you are hiding, but because you are protecting something precious, your own spirit. You've given too much, too often, to too many who never saw the weight of your generosity.
Speaker audio incorrectly encoded. You've poured from an ever-flowing well, but even wells need time to replenish. And now you've learned, you've grown, you've returned home to yourself.
That's the beauty of this path. At first, it feels like loss, but in time, you realize it's freedom. You don't have to chase anyone. You don't have to explain your energy to those who cannot feel it. You don't have to apologize for your joy, your magic, your silence, your standards, or your sacred rage. You only have to be. And in being, you are already doing more than most. The more powerful your aura becomes, the smaller your circle may get, but the deeper your connections will grow. You will find your soul family, the ones who don't fear your fire but honor it, the ones who don't just understand your silence, they speak it too, the ones who don't try to dim your light because they're too busy shining in their own. These are the ones worth waiting for. These are the ones who see you, not just with their eyes but with their spirit. Until then, don't rush the unfolding. There's wisdom in the wilderness. There's strength in the silence. And there is a divine beauty in learning to sit with yourself, in learning to hold your own hand and say, I am enough just as I am. Your aura is powerful not because you wear it like armor, but because you've allowed it to be refined by fire. You've been through storms that could have shattered you, but you chose to rise. You've loved people who could not return it, but you chose not to hate. You faced rejection, isolation, and misunderstanding, and still you shine, still you believe, still you love. That is the mark of a soul too powerful for most, but not for all. Keep rising, my friend. Keep glowing. The ones who are meant to meet you at your frequency, they're on their way. And until then, walk in your light, dance in your truth, and speak with the authority of someone who knows you were born to be exactly who you are. There is a weight that comes with wisdom, a quiet heaviness that rests on the shoulders of those who see more, feel more, and know more than they were ever taught. When your aura is powerful, it carries the residue of lifetimes of truths inherited through experience, of lessons earned through pain. You become a lighthouse in the storm, not because you asked to be, but because life shaped you into one. And when you shine with that kind of internal fire, some people will mistake you for a threat simply because you are lit from within. You must understand, when your presence speaks before your lips ever move, it creates tension, not because you're wrong, not because you're unkind, but because you carry truth. And truth is a language many are not fluent in. You don't just walk into a room, you redefine it. You don't follow energy, you set it. And that unsettles those who live behind the comfort of their illusions. To them, your clarity feels like confrontation. Your authenticity feels like rebellion. Your grace, your calm, your refusal to play small, it reminds them of everything they've denied in themselves. You see, a powerful aura doesn't just show up, it awakens. It shakes loose everything in its presence that isn't real. That's why some people avoid you. That's why others gossip about you. That's why some smile to your face while fearing what your eyes see, because your eyes are not just looking, they are witnessing. You see beyond words, you feel beyond gestures, you intuit what hasn't been spoken. And that level of perception makes people uncomfortable when they are still wearing masks, but you must not shrink. You must not fold into the corners of yourself just because others cannot handle the whole of you. A candle does not apologize for being lit, and neither should you. You weren't created to hide your power. You were born to walk in it. And your light is not arrogance. It is evidence of healing, of work, of grace earned and never taken for granted. You are not too much. You are exactly as full as someone needs to be when they are carrying purpose. Your energy will often expose what others are trying to conceal, their wounds, their fears, their envy, their insecurity. That's not your fault. You didn't come to trigger them, you came to free them. But freedom is a choice, and not everyone is ready to choose it. Some will turn away, some will try to dull your shine. Some will pretend they don't see you so they don't have to confront what your light reveals about their darkness. That's okay. You are not for everyone, and you were never meant to be. Your spirit is not a public park. It is a sacred temple, and only those willing to honor it deserve to enter. You do not owe your energy to those who only want to siphon it. You do not owe explanations to those committed to misunderstanding you. What you owe to yourself, to your ancestor, your purpose is truth, fully, loudly, and unapologetically. People with powerful auras often find themselves exhausted, not just physically, but spiritually. Because energy like yours is magnetic, and it attracts not just the curious, but the broken. People see your strength and assume you can carry theirs too. They lean on your wisdom. They drain your compassion. They love your light, but forget that even stars burn out when never allowed to rest. That's why you must protect your peace like it is holy, because it is. Peace is your birthright, not a reward for surviving. You don't have to earn stillness. You don't need permission to say no. You do not have to explain why you walked away from what drained you, confused you, or made you feel small. You are allowed to choose you again and again and again. And when you do, when you stop explaining, stop overgiving, stop overfunctioning just to be accepted, you will begin to feel something powerful rise within you. It is the knowing, the deep cellular ancestral knowing that you are worthy. That you do not need to shrink to make others feel tall, and you do not need to hide to be loved. You only need to be, and in being, you become a beacon for others who have been told they're too much, too deep, too sensitive, too strong. Those are your people. The ones who will not fear your fire, but sit with you in it. The ones who will not envy your light, but match it with their own. The ones who will not ask you to prove your worth, but will recognize it the moment they meet your soul. Until then, walk with grace, walk with quiet strength. Walk with the knowing that your energy is medicine, but medicine is not for everyone. Let them fall away. Let them whisper. Let them misunderstand. You do not owe anyone a watered-down version of yourself. You are the river, not the drought. You are the sunrise, not the fog. You are the storm and the stillness, the question and the answer. And that is what makes your aura so powerful. It is not just seen. It is felt. It is remembered. It is sacred. Dud, you are not misunderstood because you are confusing. You are misunderstood because you are clear, crystal clear. And that kind of clarity disrupts the games, the roles, the illusions that people hold on to so tightly. When your aura is powerful, when it carries the vibration of truth and freedom, you become a mirror people didn't ask for. You become the light in rooms that were built to keep things hidden. And when you walk in with that light, unapologetic, steady, fierce people either lean in or walk out. Either way, your light does not dim, it does not tremble. It does not ask permission to shine. It is not that you are too much. It is that they have only known fragments, only lived in corners, only seen life through the haze of compromise. You, however, are whole, not perfect, but whole. Whole in your knowing, whole in your heartbreak, whole in your hope. You have learned not to flinch when the truth is spoken. You have learned that softness and power are not opposites, but twins in the same womb. And that understanding, that wholeness is magnetic, yes, but it's also intimidating. A powerful aura isn't built overnight. It is forged in fire, carved through storms, shaped by silence and polished by tears. You've been places that would have broken others. You've lost things you thought would define you. You've been stretched, bruised, forgotten, overlooked, and still here you are walking in grace. That is power. Not loud, not boastful, but quiet, anchored, real. And in a world of illusion, realness makes people uncomfortable. You may have noticed that people come to you for comfort, for guidance, for strength. But when it's your turn to need something, the room grows quiet. That's because they are drawn to your light, not realizing that light needs to be refueled. You've become a sanctuary for those lost in their own storms. And while it is noble, while it is beautiful, it is also exhausting. Because behind your smile, behind your soft yes, it's a soul that is constantly giving, constantly carrying, constantly pouring. But who pours into you? Who sits with you when your heart is heavy and your shoulders are tired? Who listens without needing to fix you, save you, or label you? You deserve that, and not just from others, but from yourself. You deserve to rest. You deserve to say no. You deserve to retreat when the world feels too loud and come home to your own spirit, your own breath, your own truth. When your aura is powerful, boundaries are not just important, not walls, but gates. Gates that protect, not isolate. Gates that protect, not isolate. Gates that honor the sacredness of your time, your energy, your presence. You are not for everyone. And that is not arrogance. That is awareness. You are not meant to be consumed by every eye, touched by every hand, understood by every heart. You are sacred space, and sacred things are not handed out. They are revealed to the worthy. The more aligned you become, the less accessible you will be, not out of pride, but out of clarity. You will no longer chase what walks away. You will no longer beg to be chosen. You will no longer explain your value to those committed to misunderstanding it. Instead, you will sit in your power, quiet, grounded, unmoved. You will love deeply, but not bleed. You will show up, but not at the cost of your peace. There is a kind of peace that only comes when you realize that you are not here to fix everyone, save everyone, carry everyone, that you can love someone and still choose yourself, that you can be compassionate without being consumed, that you can walk away and still wish them well. That is the kind of maturity that a powerful aura demands. The maturity to love from fullness, not emptiness, to give without depletion, to shine without apology. As your energy expands, the old you, the one who tolerated, chased, explained, will feel full, and that's good, that's growth. You are not who you used to be. You've grown roots, you've sprouted wings, you've found your voice, and now you walk different, you speak different, you feel different. And that difference, that's your alignment showing, that's your soul stepping fully into its purpose. Not everyone will celebrate that. Some will say you've changed. Some will try to pull you back. Some will miss the version of you who didn't know their power. But your only obligation is to keep evolving, to keep becoming, to keep rising into the highest expression of who you are. You are not here to shrink for anyone. You are here to remind them simply by existing that it is possible to live without fear, to love without losing yourself, to walk in power without stepping on others. Your aura is your legacy, not the clothes you wear, not the titles you hold, not the applause you get. It is the feeling you leave in the room, the peace, the permission, the power, the shift. It is the healing you awaken. The truth you carry, the presence that makes people breathe deeper when you're near. That is what makes you unforgettable. That is what makes you you. So keep shining. Keep choosing yourself. Keep walking away from anything that dims your soul. You owe it to the version of you that stayed up at night praying for peace. You owe it to the little girl, the inner child, the young version of you who always felt like she didn't fit in because she wasn't meant to. She was meant to lead, and now it's time. There comes a moment in the journey of every powerful soul when they stop seeking permission and start walking in purpose. That moment is not always dramatic. Sometimes it happens in the quiet of an ordinary day, in the middle of doing dishes or walking home or staring at the ceiling at midnight. It's a soft but unshakable realization, I am not here to be light, I'm here to be light. And when that knowing settles into your bones, your whole life begins to shift. The way you speak, the way you listen, the way you choose. Because when your aura is powerful, when your spirit is aligned with something higher than the world can measure, you begin to move differently. You stop entertaining things that insult your soul, justifying your presence. You stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant to hold your greatness. You begin to understand that your life is not random, that your pain wasn't pointless, that your voice has weight, your thoughts have power, and your energy is an offering. And not everyone will know what to do with that offering. Some will misuse it, some will mishandle it, some will love the way you make them feel, but never ask how you feel. And in the past, you may have let that slide. You may have kept giving, kept showing up, kept waiting for someone to finally see the whole of you, not just the parts they find useful. But now you know better. Now you've tasted the richness of your own company. Now you've stood at the edge of loneliness and realized it's not as frightening as betrayal. Now you understand that protecting your peace is not selfish, it's survival. Because a powerful aura doesn't just attract people, it attracts everything. Light and shadow, healers and takers, teachers and testers. And part of your growth is learning to tell the difference between what feeds you and what only feeds on you. You are no longer in the season of proving. You are not here to convince people of your worth. You are not here to bend and twist just to be tolerated. You are here to be exactly who you are, without shame, without filter, without fear. And the beautiful, sometimes painful truth is that this version of you, the healed you, the powerful you, the unshaken you, will not be accessible to everyone. Some people loved you better when you didn't know yourself, when you were quieter, smaller, easier to manipulate, easier to ignore. But now you speak, now you say no, now you walk away, now you take up space. And that, my dear, is liberation. Not just for you, but for everyone who watches you and begins to believe they can do the same. When your aura is powerful, your life becomes a message, not the one you post, not the one you plan, but the one you live. People feel it in your presence, even if they can't explain it. They're drawn to your strength, to your peace, to the quiet storm behind your eyes. They ask you for advice, for comfort, for answers. But you know now that it is not your job to save everyone. You are not their rescuer. You are a reminder, a mirror, a guide, and guides do not carry others. They point the way and continue walking. There will be days when you feel weary, days when you miss the comfort of old patterns, old places, old versions of you that didn't know how heavy this calling would be. But those are the moments to pause, not to quit, to breathe, not to break. To remember that what you carry is rare, and rare things are not always easy to hold, but they are always worth it. Your aura, your energy, your divine assignment, it is not about popularity. It is about impact, about the way you make people feel. About the legacy you leave not in titles but in hearts. About the souls you help awaken just by standing tall and speaking your truth. That's what makes your presence powerful. That's what makes your light unforgettable. Not because it screams, but because it heals. And now you no longer apologize for being different. You no longer seek to blend in. You wear your spirit like a crown, not because it makes you better, but because it reminds you of who you are. You know the cost of being seen, and you're willing to pay it. You know the price of truth, and you'd rather speak it than choke on silence. You know your worth, not because someone told you, but because you earned it. Through pain, through growth, through showing up for yourself again and again. So keep shining, not louder, not brighter, just truer. Let your energy speak before your mouth does. Let your presence answer questions before they're asked. Let your stillness teach what no words can explain. And never ever forget, the world may not always be ready for your kind of power, but someone somewhere is waiting for exactly the energy you carry. So don't dim, don't bend, don't dilute, walk in your light. And if the path gets lonely, know this. Even when you are walking alone, you are not walking empty. You carry centuries of strength. You carry divine breath. You carry love that's bigger than fear, faith that's deeper than doubt be replaced. You, beloved, are the kind of soul that transforms rooms, awakens hearts, and writes stories just by being. And that is why your aura is too.